Tonight,
by now.
we're catching up.
Oop, I almost told him it's live now.
Oh, we are live.
It's two very different things.
Although it says we've been live for 2 minutes, which I feel like is a really long time considering I just pushed the button.
It says 21 seconds.
On my end, it says 2 minutes and 6 seconds.
Well, the closer to the speed of light you get, the faster time goes.
Shit. That means I'm going to technically live longer than you by about however long. All right. Are you ready? Are we ready? Somebody ready? Who's
Sure,
ready?
whatever. Are you? Whatever.
There we go. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another episode of Let's Go Hunt, the Everyman's Hunting and Outdoor podcast. We aren't experts, but we're out there doing it. Join us on our journey. As always, we have or have not Mike Gonzalez, who misses every shot he takes. Sam Alexander, lead munchkin of the Munchkin Correctional Officers Corps. Why? Dave Packard, who is not ready for this heat, and I'm Vince H., trying to remember what I did to deserve this time. Tonight, we are catching up and memorializing the recent loss of a cast member who was crushed by technical issues.
Well,
We
We
tell
should
lots,
learn to
anyway.
spell at some point.
we tell lots of jokes about Mike being a broken person, but unfortunately, he picked up his laptop and he's now in the hospital.
Okay, I get it now. I thought like he picked it up from somewhere, like he went and got it. Yeah, but no, he bent over. Okay,
Yeah, there you
there
go.
we go.
That one took a
Yeah.
moment to
I'm
land.
back.
Yep.
But I'm
I'm
glad
back.
it landed.
It took me a minute.
I'm back.
So
Well,
Disco
it's
Gnome.
fantastic.
Apparently, I have that energy.
As of this recording, I still have not managed to post last week's episode with Jack Outback because of his slight technical issues. We're working it out. So basically,
All
you'll get
right.
1 and 2 all posted right next to each other. Probably 67 and 68 will be like 68 will be sniffing 67's butt crack as it comes to the door. That's how close together they'll be.
And then the next episode, they'll have to turn around.
Yay. So what are we doing?
I don't know. Someone has to take the reins here.
Well, we'll get
Podcast.
the show notes. And Mike's show notes say, "My name is Mike. I am dead. Dead. Like I ate too many TV dinners and 4 tablespoons of Imodium and crawled into the porch where my bloated corpse can be feasted upon by cockroaches and rats." All right, then.
It checks out.
I'm glad Mike had the time to put that in the show notes. From the ICU.
I see you.
God damn it! I was gonna say it.
But you couldn't hold it in, and I got it first.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So our in Colorado, our deadline for submitting tags is not coming up super fast, but coming up faster than I like.
Faster than you think.
What's the deadline again?
April 2nd, 8 p.m. I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It means actually start thinking about those kind of things, and I don't like actually thinking about it. I prefer just to,
I haven't even gotten the email yet telling us like, hey, it's about time to start putting in for your tags this year. Like ours won't close until I think the end of May sometime. So I don't even know what yet that I'm going to try and put in for. Probably just what I normally do is I try and put in for stuff that's as close to me as possible. Like, so I'm not driving up to some corner of the state that I have to actually find. And yeah, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of public hunting area or these different little areas where you can put into for draw hunts that are real close. But there's some that are close enough. So
Nice.
the big one is trying to draw the elk tag out of the Wichita Mountains. That's the one of your once in a lifetime draws, which I think I need a few more years worth of points to actually get. I don't know. I think I just put in for points last year.
When you say a few more years, are you talking like 5 years, or are you talking like Colorado bighorn sheep years, where you're going
2
to
decades.
apply until you are 60 years old, and then you might get the tag?
I have heard of people drawing. See, I don't remember if this is cow or bull tags, but people drawing their first year. Someone has drawn their first year they put in. So there is a certain amount where you have there's a chance. You're saying there's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance of drawing your first year at it. But I think 5 years and your chances start going up significantly. And by 20 you should have it, I think. But I'd have to double check all that. I looked it up last year, but it comes and goes.
Yeah.
Is your draw system like the same way that our system is? Like you apply, you get an application number, they turn the application number around, and then however many like weighted points you have, then it divides or multiplies it or some voodoo magic shit, and then you get a new application number, and then they start from the lowest number and work their way up. That's how you draw a tag.
I'm pretty
I don't
sure you
know.
made that up, which means they're just making it up.
Like, you made that word up.
It's ridiculous. Like
I don't know.
my poor boss has been putting in. This will be just real quick, Vince. My poor boss has been putting in for his moose and bighorn sheep tags for the last 20 years, and he's got 23 weighted sheep points, and some dude drew it his tag that he's been putting in for with 9. His moose, he's got 20 weighted points on top of his 3 preference, and one dude drew it with 3 preference and 1 weighted. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Guy put in for 4 years and you drew this tag, and he's going on 2 decades.
Yeah.
See, this is why I don't even really want to put in for like the bighorn sheep tag, because by the time I get it, I'm going to live out of state and won't be able to afford it anyway.
You see, that's the thing, though. Well, yeah, you living out of state, you're looking at $2,600, but
all for a big ass goat.
Yeah.
You know what's fun? I got my lifetime license, so I still have to put in for, like, I pay for the draw, which is like $5 per species. And you have a certain amount of selections. I think there's 3 selections I can make for elk, and I can pay for extras if I want to. But once I draw the tag, I don't pay anything. All my tags are included in my lifetime license.
That must be nice.
Jesus.
So if I moved out of state, the lifetime license is still a lifetime license. Technically, it's 100 years, but they aren't betting on you living past that and hunting. Let me see. Maybe it's 120. I don't know.
Just to be safe, better make it 120. Some of these people, man, they're making it to 108 years old right now, just in case. I don't know. I haven't put a ton of thought into what I'm going to do this year too much. I should probably start doing that.
My big thing is trying to figure out when I might actually be able to get off work and convince them that I need to be gone. And try and put in for those days.
Yeah. I mean, I know archery elk is a definite in first week of September, but that's just over the counter. So,
Is it still over the counter up there? Oh yeah, archery. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't northwest corner of the state. At least not that far northwest corner of the state.
Yeah.
Put in for that one again. I mean, I'll put in for, an elk tag that I know I won't get on the first draw. Same with deer tags, I suppose. Dave, everyone's talking about coming down and hunting muleys down by you, but the problem is everybody's saying that I talk to. Not just Mike, and not just a couple other people we know, but like even a guy that I go to church with. Talking to him, he's like, "Oh yeah, we were thinking of going down to Springfield this coming up season for deer tags." I'm thinking, is everybody going to be down there now?
Yeah.
It's making me think I might want to try somewhere else.
Well, we'll see. I don't know what they're going to do with draw numbers. I mean, when I did my big game survey, I said that I was satisfied seeing the amount of deer that I saw. I didn't see the amount of bucks I thought I'd see, but I saw bucks.
And I'll probably put in for it down there, just that way we can all be together and hold hands. But
absolutely, hand hug.
We will hand hug around the fore end of the rifle.
No, hand hug.
I know that. But I'm saying we'll hand hug around the fore end of the rifle, like you're just going and hold it like that. Hand hug the rifle.
So gay.
It's not gay. It's
I'm in.
Supportive.
But yeah,
we're emotionally reliant on each other.
I'll get you on deer down here if you want to come hunting.
And then I still think, I still want to go after one of those black bear tags. I'm going to do a little bit more research this year to find out, though, if I should go not for that right at the beginning of October tag. Or when did I go last year? Was it beginning of October? End of September, yeah, because my tag expired in like September 29th or something. But maybe a couple more weeks into October might be a better time. I have no idea. But I want to do that one again. And then as far as rifle hunting for any other big game species, like as far as elk goes, like, nah, I just want the points.
Y'all lost spring bear, didn't you?
A long time ago.
Long time? Okay.
Like a long time ago. We lost trapping with any usable traps back in like 1996. Off the top of my head, we lost Colorado spring bear season. It was like back in, when did we lose that? I don't know.
I don't remember it. Yeah. I never remember a spring bear.
Like decades ago.
We have spring turkey.
I've heard that spring bear
1992
exists.
We lost spring bear hunting in 1992.
A whole day ago.
As I've been alive.
Yeah, a whole Sam ago too.
Well, that's unfortunate. We don't have that either. I was just going to comment, like, it'd be nice if we had it, because that'd be something fun to do in the springtime around here. But we just have fall bear right now.
Yeah, that's all we have. Well, also 1992 is where we lost baiting and dogs for bears.
Ooh.
Which, if you look at the bear population since then, I mean, I'm not a bigologist, but it sure seems like the population's bigologist. There we go.
I was gonna write it down.
Well, bigologist, I'm gonna figure out how to get them bears.
First, we have to get rid of the dozen show titles from last week.
Oh, don't spoil it.
No, just leave them. Leave them for posterity.
I don't know how to spell bigologist. Bigologist. That looks better, because if it was B-I-G, it looked like bigologist. All right, there we go. Now I want to go after the bear again, and then naturally October will swing around, and I will probably attempt to shoot more beavers in the face, and hopefully with more success. Although once we get to April, I'm going to can at least 2 of them. I have a feeling. I've got a good feeling. And then
I might make it.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I thought you're close. You're done there.
No, I was just going to say that after that, then we roll back around to Texas for crane and geese again, probably, and that'll be that.
Oh, did you see my thermal pic of the sandhill cranes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I was more interested in the thermal pic of the giraffe, where you could see it's freaking like the pattern in the
fur, that was cool.
Hair, whatever, skin coming through different colors. That was a little creepy. It's like, oh, that thing looks like a robot or something. Kill it.
It's weird that's what you get whenever you have thermal in the bright sunshine.
Yeah. It's picking up the darker patches are collecting more heat versus the little white lines in between those darker brown splotches are reflecting it off.
Right.
Personally, I think it's because it's actually the entire body is made of discrete plastic plates, and what you're seeing is the heat radiating out from the machine inside.
Giraffes aren't real.
Giraffes are automatons.
Giraffes are government drones. You heard it here first.
Somewhere,
Giraffes are drones.
Giraffes are drones. Somewhere around here, I have a little ditzy like tourist trap box supposedly made out of giraffe hide that my brother picked up while sailing through the Suez Canal, and apparently all the little you'll get swarmed by little boats with guys trying to sell stuff.
You know, I would say in that location, it's probably cheaper to get the giraffe hide than it is to fake it.
Fair. Actually, no. Haven't you been on AliExpress? You can buy almost anything cheap for fake.
Yeah, that's true. There was a time
to get it shipped.
10 years ago, maybe. Yeah, I'd be right, but
I think it had to be what, like 16, 17 or 8. So that's probably 17 when that happened. No, 14, 15, probably when I got that. So yeah, it's been close to a decade.
Yeah.
Mike was watching live, but he's not commenting anymore, which makes
he's
gone.
I think he fell asleep.
Yeah.
I forgot to switch to the comments. Whoops.
Yep. So I thought that's what probably my season's looking like coming up. I think I've mentioned that before. Now I just have the big question is, do I go back to the same spot for bear or try somewhere else? But it's a moot point. I'll figure that out. Cross that bridge when I get to it.
Nice. Well, hopefully this year I have enough points to draw my elk tag. I should be in the running. So we will see come June. But
if I draw my elk tag, that will be my main focus for the entire season, is getting that time off work and going to do that. Though this last year, Oklahoma did implement something where you can buy insurance, and maybe it wasn't this last year, it might have been there longer, but I just noticed it and used it this last time. You can buy insurance on your points and your tags so that if you can't make it for some reason, you don't lose the tags and you don't lose your points. And that's important, especially if you're putting in for elk or the private land rifle antelope, because those are both once in a lifetime draws.
Oh. Whether
you kill something or not, or normally if you can't make it, that's unfortunate. But you lot that was it. So,
yeah. But we can surrender our tags up to a point and get points back, right, Dave?
Yeah.
And then after
we were actually talking about that today. I can't.
After that point, you can still surrender it or turn it in, and then I think they will conditionally give you your points back. So I think that,
please,
you get your legs cut off right before you're supposed to go on the hunt. Then CPW might be like, yeah, okay, we'll give you another shot.
I think I might make a half-assed attempt at spring turkey this year with I could use shotgun in the local the closest hunting area to me, but I might just use a crossbow. But by half-assed attempt, I mean I might go out and with one decoy and call a little bit,
make vague turkey sounds.
Yeah, I'll go out there and yep, nope, no turkey showed up. Well, that was a bust. And then
I thought about spring turkey. Probably spring turkey season was going to fall right in the middle of new kiddo coming along. Maybe not right in the middle of that, but just it's going to be a busy time anyway. And anytime I have off to go try and yoink turkeys, I would rather spend that time trying to shoot beavers in the back of the head.
I have banked enough time where I can take the entire season off if I do draw that elk tag, and I fully intend to.
You better.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess spring turkey. Of course, I think I missed the freaking deadline for applying for spring turkey anyway, though. I definitely did. So that's a moot point anyway.
Yeah.
It's okay. I can buy a turkey at Walmart. It'll be fine.
You
That's
can
the
shoot a
problem I
turkey
run
at
into.
Walmart. Don't do that.
Do it.
That's the problem I run into with going to hunt for turkey. Like, I can go buy turkey. I can't go buy deer. And trout's expensive. And so is salmon and all that kind of stuff. But
salmon. See, that's the. You always make these plans, and then you never get around to them, and I'm the king of that. Because when it came to me going like, holy crap, I need to go ice fishing this year, that's probably not going to that's definitely not going to transpire. I've got too much stuff on my plate with work right now to even think about it. But nah, I really want to catch some of our Kobe salmon, like out of 11 Mile.
I'm supposed to go on a guided striper trip in Lake Texoma sometime this spring. My dad said he would bankroll it and pay for it and take me and my brother and probably our two oldest. But we'll just have to see. He had planned a blue cat fishing trip with the same guy, but the day we were supposed to go, there was a freak cold front and it was 29 degrees with 40-mile-an-hour winds, and the guy's like, that's not happening. So we had to postpone that till spring.
How far is Texoma from you?
Somewhere between 40 and 80 miles, depending on what part of the lake you're talking about.
No shit. People from down here go fishing there like all the time.
Yeah, it's turning into kind of a bougie spot, honestly. Back when I was a kid, you could go out to places on it that were just nice, easy public access, and there wasn't much around, but there are resorts popping up all over the place up there.
I tell you what, we need to plan a fishing trip to Texoma sometime.
Okay, then.
We need to do. So, yeah. I mean, a little meetup, and I think we're lacking in the fishing department on this show, so maybe we can step that up a bit.
I did try to go fishing a couple weeks ago. I mean, I went out and I went fishing technically, but that doesn't mean I did any good at it. I went and stood by a river for like 5 hours with my oldest son as we tried to target rainbow trout at the Blue River, and it did not work. We'll just skip straight to the end. I caught nothing and got no bites. And I'm not surprised, because I went into it having only the tiniest amount of knowledge about how to do this, specifically for trout. And we're just using regular, bait and tackle. We weren't fly fishing or anything. Mm-hmm. And I got done, was kind of frustrated because we had actually run into a guy who was walking out when we were switching spots, and he had a couple of rainbows, and one was a little 12 13 incher, but one he had was about 16 or 17. It was maybe 3 or 4 pounds, which was a pretty big fish for the river. Apparently was at least a couple seasons old, and had the interesting distinction of having a wound all the way around its body. So the guy surmised, like, it looks like a flathead catfish got a hold of it for a second and it barely got away. But apparently, after doing the research when I got home, which I probably should have done beforehand, we were using much too large of hooks and bait, which I was using bait was like that would have caught a 1 pound crappie pretty easily. And because of the way the trout's mouth opens, they target much smaller things. Oklahoma Department of Wildlife, and all their stuff, they recommend hooks from size 8 to 14, and I think the smallest one I had with me was a size 4.
Oh,
which is yeah.
Yeah, so I've never. My best luck with trout fishing has always been fly fishing. Yeah, where you have detained a hook guy. I can't even tell you what size it is because I don't pay attention to that crap. I just buy the small hooks. But no, like definitely they like small hooks in my experience.
Yeah. Small hook, big fish.
So anyway,
I mean,
that didn't work.
I went fishing with my daughter a few times, just like, hey, let's throw the line out in the water and expecting to catch nothing. Of course, we caught nothing any of those times. I went fly fishing the one time after we went elk hunting. I mean, I hauled back 3-4 trout. I mean, I caught lots of. I mean, didn't catch lots of fish. I caught a few. I kept 3 to 4 of them. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 of them. Oh, we did catch that damn that bass though. I forgot about that. That smallmouth bass.
I need to learn to fly fish.
It's fine. That's fly fishing. Ironically, I'm not gonna say I'm good at it, but that's the best fishing. That's the fishing I'm the best at right now. My bait and tackle type fishing is garbage.
I've just heard that that's the way you target trout because it triggers an automatic reflex rather than, come on, bite it.
It depends.
This smells good.
I've seen people hauling in one trout after the other using night crawlers.
Yeah,
stock trout,
salmon eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I should have gone and picked up some live mealworms. I've heard that's a good one.
Where I have found fly fishing just to be slightly easier in catching fish is because I'm fly fishing a stream or whatever. So at least I know the fish are in that deep pool. I'm not sitting here going, okay, I've got this big open bottle of water in front of me. Where are the fish?
Mm-hmm.
I can look in the water and go, oh, the fish is right there. So at least I can narrow down my search area.
We were fishing a pool along the river and not getting anything. And I had some like the little dough ball baits, and I just kind of threw one in the water, and something came up and grabbed it. I was like, oh, that's interesting, and kind of just kept doing what I'd been doing before. And like, if there had been a tiny little hook attached to that, I would have had at least one fish to talk about. Mm-hmm. But I did some research, and I'm going to go back, and I need to re-spool line on all of my rods and reels that I was using and actually use lighter tackle. The tackle I had was probably too heavy for what I was trying to do. And also, I kind of forgot that some line floats, and that's what you want, and some does not. And I was actually making leaders out of the exact wrong line that likes to sink and that the fish can see really well. So, yeah, I did plenty of things incorrectly, but got a little more information. I'll try that again sometime soon-ish. They quit stocking at the end of March, and I need to get out there and give it another go. Mostly because I'm annoyed that I failed, and yeah. So I did get to try out some equipment while I was doing it. I have an old, the military surplus gigantic backpack. Because
Which one? Probably 2 or older than that.
I don't know. It's got a plastic frame to it.
What camo pattern is it?
It is tan and rattle can.
Coyote?
Yeah.
It's probably, if it's plastic frame, it's probably Molly 1 or Molly 2, but who knows at this point. Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, I bought that thing surplus like 5 years ago, and I shoved a bunch of stuff in that, probably way more stuff than I actually needed because I didn't know what I would need, and hiked a mile back in with that up the river. And I weighed it when I got home, and I think it was 40 pounds. I'm like, that's not a lot of weight, but the thing was not comfortable. Still trying to figure out how to carry a sidearm with something like that.
Cross draw.
Yeah.
That was my answer, honestly.
Chest rig. And that's one of the strange things, like the overlap between some of your tactical gear and your hunting and outdoor related gear just isn't there. Like you do need different stuff for both sometimes. But I do try and spend as little money as I can on it. Like I don't have to have I don't want to buy a chest rig holster, but I'm struggling to find a better way to do that.
Sam, I have an idea for you.
I was looking at my own idea real quick, but go ahead.
I was going to say night vision, night fishing.
That sounds really cool, except for the fact that up close like that, I would be doing nothing but constantly adjusting my focus. Because once you get really up close with something, like your focus depth, like no shit, is like 2 inches. And as soon as you get outside that, it's immediately gone. I recently first I'm going to go on my own idea here. I'm looking at the ice report for 11 Mile here. I'll look at it some more later. And part of me thinking, you know what? Not this coming up weekend, but weekend after that, I just need to tell Mike to take off work, and we're just going to go attempt to ice fish.
Mike works?
Not really. But then I'm reading the recommendations being like, drill test holes as you were going out. Okay, fair enough. Always avoid pressure ridges. And I'm like, what the hell is a pressure ridge and how do I avoid it? But I'll look into it some more. Part of me is like,
I recognize most of these words individually.
Pressure ridge makes sense. It's somewhere where 2 sheets of ice have pushed up against each other. It looks like a little ridge. But no, we should still get out there and try and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't hurt. Go freeze my ass off on a lake for a day. It'll be fine. Anywho.
Nice.
There's something else I was supposed to be saying after this?
Not that I recall.
Oh,
maybe you were.
So I tried to do a little Good Samaritan trapping here last week.
Oh, yeah.
Because somebody in the neighborhood spotted a fox underneath their porch with at least 1 broken leg. Later, I heard it was 2 broken legs. Nobody can seem to decide which legs were broken. So that was very helpful.
Then you heard it was chlamydia.
Yeah. Well, then the Elizabeth Police Department comes out and the cop just refuses to shoot it. Like, okay, well, that's nice. And so I guess on our neighborhood Facebook group, there's this entire swath of moms. I'm just going to call them moms, soccer mom type figures, because I can't figure who else would be this worried about this subject. They're just out there like trying to track this thing down, and we saw it over here, and we saw it over there, and someone saw it move into the open space. And so it's like, well, somebody got a hold of me through Facebook, through my wife, then got to me because somebody knows my neighbor knows I have traps hanging out in my garage. So it's like, all right, fine, I'll go bait a couple of my traps out there in the open space with chicken. I mean, technically it's not an area that you're hunting in, but I'm not hunting. I'm just trying to catch this wounded fox because one lady says that she talked to a wildlife sanctuary where if they can capture it, the sanctuary will take it and take care of the fox. I'm like, okay, fine. So I went and, set a couple traps and, nothing, didn't turn anything up. I expected to catch a whole bunch of raccoons. I don't think I caught any raccoons even. So, yeah.
No skunks?
No skunks. That was good because after I set the traps and made it home and thought about it for about 10 minutes and went, what the hell am I going to do if I catch a skunk? That's a pain in the ass to try and get that thing out of there. But no, then it just made me mad because I told the lady, like, hey, if anybody sees this thing, again, let me know in case I need to reposition my traps to be in a more advantageous spot. Well, I texted her the following morning, I think it was the morning, or even, no, it was the evening, the following evening. And she's like, oh yeah, so-and-so saw it up by the entrance to the neighborhood, over on the east side there. I'm thinking that's half a mile from where I put my traps down. Like you were supposed to then, she was trying to work with a vet to tranquilize it. I'm just like, all right, I get it. The fox is cute and it's sad that it's got a broken leg, but you people are worried way too much about this. I'm going to pack my stuff up and go home.
They will chew their own foot off if they get caught in a leg hold.
Well, that's not a leg hold.
I know.
But I know.
I'm just
It's
saying.
more just. It's more. I'm imagining like if there was a starving homeless person wandering around between the neighborhoods, they wouldn't be nearly as worried about him as they are this damn fox.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, they could use that fox.
Trap him.
Oh, but I didn't tell them. So I was texting you guys about it, and I had just sent you a message I think it was to the effect of, if this lady only knew how much I want to skin this thing and eat its flesh. Not that I actually want to eat a fox, but it was a joke to you guys. And then she texted me, and I didn't check who I was sending messages to. So I thought I was telling you guys that technically not even supposed to hunt back there because it's town of Elizabeth owned. And I sent it to her instead, and she replied, "Ha ha, I know, right?" And I'm thinking, oh, I'm glad I didn't send the message before that.
Oh, that would have been great.
It might have been, but no, so that was the end of that. She's working with a vet to try and tranquilize it, and I'm like, all right, I'm washing my hands of this situation. Have fun with the fox.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of homeless people, do you want to hear my spiteful story for the day?
Absolutely.
All right, so I parked at the gas station in a bad part of Colorado, not a bad part of Colorado Springs, but definitely a couple homeless camps around there now that there didn't used to be. Anyway, I'm pumping gas, and the dude wanders up to me, and he's like, "Hey, could I have $1 to replace my dollar I burned up?" And no shit, he holds up a dollar bill that's like half burned. I'm thinking, you know what? This is probably a shtick, but it's a clever one. Sure, I have $1. That's fine. Well, then this other lady from over on the left's like, "Oh, you got one for me?" And I'm just like, what? I don't fucking hardly spend cash anyway. So I'm like, okay, fine. Whatever. So I tried to whip out another one, and out came 4.
Oh.
And I'm like, all right, I don't want to be like, wait a minute, no, let me pick one apart. So I just share it with the other guy. Well, she starts wandering off with like, what, you bitch. Off she goes. And so the other guys left. So I just handed him the $10 bill I had in my wallet to get rid of the cash.
I want to be homeless around Sam.
No, normally I don't do that. Normally it would just been the one for the clever guy, and then it was more that just because I'm like, oh, you're gonna be this lady's gonna be greedy. Take that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't freaking like carrying around cash anyway. So
Nice.
Anyway, it was funnier in my head.
I just tell people that I'm fresh out.
I would too, but the guy had a pretty clever line. That's not even clever. It's just like, I haven't seen this approach before. And in hindsight, I really want to know, what did you do to that dollar bill that it has all singed in the first place? If I want to know.
I just have a face where people don't ask me questions like that.
Normally I do too, but unfortunately they caught me off my guard. I was trying to throw trash away.
We know.
So Vince, tell us about your bird butchery.
Oh, the birds. Man, that feels like so long ago now.
Were they real?
I think so.
Okay.
They were a little chewy, so I'm starting to think like maybe there's something to that whole drone thing.
Synthetic.
Yeah, like a little plastic in between my teeth. No, we
microplastics in your blood.
We finally got around to butchering some of our yard chickens that were left over from last year's hatch. You know, the those extra roosters you don't really want hanging around.
Uh-huh.
And my son also somehow collected chickens from other people that they were getting rid of and didn't want. And like, why do what are you doing? Like, so he found some extra stuff for me to do. So we ended up butchering, I think, 7 chickens total. 4 or 5 of our yard birds and a couple from other people. But this was the first time that I had actually butchered a chicken. I mean, I had only ever watched my dad do it once, and I think he kind of did it wrong based on what I was seeing and what I looked into, along with kind of some of the wild birds that we've done, though for those you're not taking anything except for like the breast, so you don't really need to scald it and pluck it and all that kind of fun stuff. But we got to do all that kind of fun thing. It's a bit weird to me, honestly, especially the part where you scald the bird to get the feathers to come off.
I hate that part.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine, except for if for some reason the bird's not fully bled out yet.
Oh,
and let you know
and it stinks.
that you did that a little too early.
So I didn't like scald. I don't like scalding because it's nasty. Ugh.
Look, bird number 7 was completely limp. It had been like 3 minutes, and I go to dunk this thing in the scalding water, and like flap, like, ooh, that doesn't make me feel good.
Just further in the water.
Yeah.
Be dead now. Dunk it in like a tea bag.
That was the move.
Pushing it deeper, like get in there.
My son like jumps back, and I'm like holding it in there harder, and he's like, "Dad, what are you doing?" Like he's dead. He just doesn't know it yet.
It's just the nerves. It's just the nerves.
Yeah. 1 through 6, perfectly smooth in that respect, and number 7 for some reason took a little longer.
He's a fighter.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like it was a reel I saw recently. The caption was like, "I feel you, buddy." And it was a crawdad that crawled off the edge of the plate and just flopped into the boiling water on its own.
No, it's actually kind of.
Or it's like if you're boiling those little bastards alive, and you get that one of them that's like stubbornly crawling on top of its friends to stay alive. You're like, "Oh, I feel sorry for you," and then you poke it with the spoon.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun messing with the kids. My daughter actually tried to pluck one. She plucked like a couple of handfuls of feathers, and it started sticking to her hand. She's like, "I don't want to do this." I'm like, "Okay."
Mm-hmm.
Though she stayed and watched.
Trash can shot.
Missed.
Nope, got it that time. There's just a lot of other cans in there.
Oh, okay.
She just didn't want to participate, but she wasn't like shy of watching us, slit the birds' throats and letting them bleed out and all that. Though my son managed to let go of the birds a couple of times, and so I had blood all over me because they'd flop around after you delivered the coup de grace, and like, "You gotta hold it." And he's like, "Okay, next time." Let go of it again. Like, just got blood all over me. But got them all cleaned out, and we actually cooked one. Maybe not that evening. No, I think it was that evening. We went ahead and cooked one, and it was maybe one of the toughest pieces of chicken I've ever had. Which, of course, it's a yard bird.
So
and actually,
yeah,
I just I did the whole kind of quick roast.
Oh yeah, no, you're doomed.
Yeah,
yard birds are good for yard birds are like.
Well, no, that's not the end of the saga. Okay. So actually, the chicken breast was really good. Okay, which now I understand why some people like stay away from thighs, though, because I grabbed a thigh and it was like chewing on rubber. And
gotta fight it a little.
Yeah.
Give it a little dip.
I'm gonna back up a little bit. Like my sister-in-law, she has like that whole mechanical plucker that has like the rubber nubbins on the inside, and you just stick the bird in there and hold on to it, and it like and like pulls all the feathers off in like 20 seconds. Next time, I don't care how many I'm doing, like I'm gonna borrow the mechanical plucker because my goodness, I wanted that thing. Like I'm messing with the chickens like it's taking forever, over there trying to maintain water and pluck the chickens and kill the chickens and and then gut the chickens. But roast chicken did not turn out well. So I'm like, okay, what can I do with this? So I threw everything into a stock pot and like boiled it for 4 hours or 5 hours, somewhere around there. Like, here we go. And I made kind of like a vegetable chicken soup out of it that was boiled it down till it was kind of thick, and that was pretty good. Like, that turned out real good.
Yeah.
And then I went a step further, and okay, when I roasted the chicken, I'd made stuffing and mashed potatoes, and we had leftovers of that. And so I took the mashed potatoes and I pressed it into the bottom of a glass pan and the stuffing over top of it, and poured the leftover gravy that I had made from the drippings over that. And then I took what was left of the chicken soup and spread it over top of that and then baked it. So it kind of made like a chicken soup casserole.
Yeah.
And it was actually really freaking good. Like, I'm gonna do that again sometime with just the leftovers, because I don't know, it felt like everything that belongs in like a Thanksgiving meal just smashed together into one.
What do you call a person that takes care of birds?
Chicken chaser?
I'm scared.
Like a shepherd is one that takes care of what, sheep?
Okay, this isn't a joke. All right.
No.
I was really scared for a second. Like, where is he going with this? Oh no.
Bird keeper?
I don't know. Drone pilot?
Drone pilot pie is what you made. It's not shepherd's pie.
That's
drone pilot pie.
That's a show title.
No, that sounds fucking delicious. And I was thinking roosters like that, slow cooking would be the way to go. Do you have an Instapot or a pressure cooker?
I do, and I don't use it because I'd have to figure out how to use it.
You'd have to figure out which of those buttons does anything, like I do. When my wife's like, "Oh, just put it in the Instapot," I'm like, "Okay, cool. What combinations of buttons do I?" "Oh, you just need to put it on, high, and then it'll do the warming thing after." Like, yeah, I don't care. Don't tell me what it does. Just tell me what order of buttons to push to make it work. Thank you.
Oven 425, hour and 20 minutes. I understand that.
Time and pressure will make a rock tender.
That's how we're gonna cook Mike when the time comes.
You say that. You say that. I had a deer one time that I tried to slow cook the backstrap because this deer was so tough that I could not get a non-chewy piece of meat out of this deer. I think I put shredded backstrap in that slow cooker for 4 days.
God damn.
See, the problem is you had too much heat and pressure to where the backstrap mineralized on you.
Something like that. I pulled out a crystallized backstrap.
You've moved beyond cooking and into geology.
It reverted to rock.
It ruined the crock pot. Like, the crock pot melted. I'm not kidding.
God damn.
Like, I ruined a crock pot trying to make that deer tender. And he refused, understandably. And, yeah.
Okay, so you know what I do with super tough shit like that? I will give up.
Tell me.
And I will run it through my meat grinder with like pickles and mayonnaise or Miracle Whip or something like that, and I call it ground gross, and just make like a sandwich spread out of it.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Dude, it is so simple, and it will make the toughest shit. I mean, edible. It's like you don't waste
it. Put it through a food processor.
Oh, yeah.
Dill pickle?
You know what?
Sweet.
I hate you.
Actually, I'm a bread and butter guy, but no, I'm not.
Okay. I was threatening to do this to Mike, but where's the ban button?
Yeah. No, zesty bread and butter or the Tits McGee.
No, they are not.
Oh, man. But yeah, that's what I do when I find.
Gross.
I'm just gonna point out real quick that this is the entire reason that we are live streaming, because within those two previous conversations, I have two perfect little clips to pull out now.
Excellent.
Apparently, I still can't cook a piece of venison because I tried to do. Okay, so I tried to do a quick roast on some tenderloin and backstrap the other day, and I followed a recipe. I went and looked up the recipe for like roast venison, and I way overcooked that shit. Like, way overcooked it. Like, I pulled it out maybe 60% of the way through the cooking time, and I stuck a meat thermometer in it, and it read like 180. I'm like, dang it. Like, well, that sucks. And I pulled it out, and luckily, like, at least the tenderloin, I know specifically came from a deer that was exceptionally tender.
Mm-hmm.
At least I'm pretty sure. I'm 90% sure that came from that specific deer. And so it still was fairly tender and tasted good. It all tasted good, and the backstrap wasn't like bad or anything because I shot mostly does that year. But yeah, apparently I still struggle. I need to actually write down what I'm doing and try something a little bit different next time. And instead of just like throwing darts at the wall and seeing what I hit, because that's basically all I do with my deer steaks and roast. But
so
yeah,
you want to know how I knew my deer tenderloin was especially tender?
Please tell me.
I hit it with my van first.
I wanted actual.
Nope.
I needed something.
45 miles an hour right into the flank. Boom.
This one was actually a huge doe. I think I got 60 pounds of meat out of this doe, which is very. That's a lot for this area. She was probably 175 or so live weight. It was one of those weird things. I'm staring at this deer on the ground. I'm like, this seems big. Is this just my imagination? And then I go to drag her out. And I'm like, Sam, are you okay?
Yeah, it was just Dave messing with his mic and his facial expression.
Right.
Shit went awry there.
Yeah, Dave looks a little concerned. That's all. I'm good.
Yeah, okay. When I was taking her apart, so normally I use a knife to poke holes in the hindquarters whenever I'm taking the hindquarters off the deer, and that way I can, have a better grip on it as I carry it and throw it in the cooler. I grabbed the hindquarters and my fingers just sunk into the meat.
Ooh.
It was the strain, and I'm carrying these hindquarters in one hand, like gripping onto it, and the meat's tearing like through my fingers, and I barely make it to the cooler to drop this hindquarter in the cooler. I'm like, that was strange. It's like the most tender deer I have ever taken apart, and you can just tell. But yeah, so that kind of bailed me out on being unable to still cook meat correctly.
Well, Dave, it out. Dave, kill your audio, kill your visual again.
Yep, I did. So I have I cooked a backstrap the other day, and it turned out splendid. So I did a marinade with just a skosh of red wine vinegar, some Worcestershire sauce, and I chopped up half an onion, threw in there, and then just some seasonings and shit. And I can post it later. But set it in a bag, set it on my counter, and because I brought it out of the fridge, built the marinade, stuck it in the marinade, and then set it on the counter for an hour or so. Brought it up to room temp. Then I got out the old cast iron. And I got that fucker like ripping hot. And set the back. It was one back strap, but I cut it in half, so it was just two chunks that were as uniform in size as I could get for even cooking. And set it in the cast iron, seared it, dropped the temp down to like medium low. Then I covered it and just kind of checked on it for, I don't know, 8-10 minutes, something like that, till I got it to temp. And then I set it off the side, let it rest. And then I cut it super thin, like as thin as I could get it with a knife.
So venison potato chips?
Yeah. They were, oh my God. It was so good. I mean,
I think
you cut it that thin, it's going to be tender, I think.
Well,
if my memory serves me, I think the best venison backstrap I ever made was the first time I ever tried to make it, and I wrapped a couple in bacon, one pepper bacon, and I think the other maple. And those were the best I ever made. I took them. I went to deer camp one weekend, and then I went back the other weekend, and we cooked them in the oven in the camper, and they turned out pretty good. And I was like, yeah, they're all right. And I realized now, yeah, you can wrap anything in bacon and roast it, and it turns out great.
A 4-day-old skunkin' bacon, and it'll taste good, probably.
Yeah, I know. But, I wasn't wrong.
You could wrap Mike in bacon, and it'd probably taste good.
I do not want to try that.
I'm not saying we have to eat them, but we can taste test them on other people.
It tastes like jet fuel.
Mike, we'll just like dress him up with an apple on his face and just like layer him in bacon like he's a big bacon mummy.
No. Here's what we do.
Slowly roast him.
Staple his eyes open.
Next Halloween, we get him a costume that is just bacon. And then we give it to him, and he is like, "This is awesome." And I was like, "You have no idea."
This is a reference that you will never understand because you weren't there.
Yeah.
Well, Vince, were you listening when I told with the story of the beaver backstrap? I cut the backstraps out of that beaver, and they were good mahogany color. So I'm thinking, ooh, this looks like some decent meat. Let's just try it, because everyone says beaver tastes just like beef pot roast. So I thought, I'd be clever and make fajitas out of them. And as I'm going through the parts, I'm like, I'll throw the heart in there too. Well, either I didn't get that heart cleaned out well enough, or beaver hearts taste like hot shit. But that was a bite of that heart is my wife's first experience eating beaver. And she just about smacked me in the face. Like, what the
Funny
hell
story.
It's disgusting.
Fuck is that?
And I'm sitting here going, okay, it tastes gamey. There's definite gamey flavor. I need to take care of that. I'm a little wuss on the gamey stuff, but okay. It's not that bad. Okay, and then we finished dinner, and I've got the leftovers, a little Tupperware, and I'm going back and sampling bites of it, trying to. All right, get rid of I don't like the gamey flavor. Get rid of that. Just analyze the flavor itself. Well, okay, this isn't bad. I need to do a little more work to it, but the meat itself tastes good. It's just that gaminess that we're not used to because, we've been freaking mollycoddled by the meat industry here. Okay. And then I find a little bit of the heart, and I'm like, ooh, the heart. Beef heart tastes good. I like venison heart. I pop that in. Oh, yeah, it was nasty. One bite is like that.
I'm mostly certain that every single one of these chickens that I butchered still has the lungs inside of it.
Did you scrape that?
See, I thought I did. And then I boiled the remains of the one that I cooked. And I was like, what the hell is that? And got all the meaty parts out of there. I was like, oh, I think that's the lungs. And then I realized, like, I did not dig deep enough into any of these birds to get that. And I'm gonna be honest. Chicken lung does not taste bad. It's fine. It tastes about like liver and is roughly of equal consistency. And it went into the casserole with everything else, and it was fine. Okay,
it'll disappear in the casserole.
Good enough.
Yeah, and it's full of the vitamins and nutrients, and it's good. So I'm not too worried about it. I just thought it was funny. Like,
Now the chickens I used to butcher, you just reach in there and just scrape the lungs out by hand or with a spoon.
Well, I reached in there and I grabbed everything all at once, and I was like, okay, got the heart, got everything, got all that stuff, like yada yada. But the lungs were like high up in the cavity.
They're high up, and they're so fucking small that like you can't remove it as a single organ. I would just like literally just scrape all that tissue out.
Yeah. Have y'all ever had a venison heart?
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you noticed, like, when you cut it up into little strips and then fry it, it like curls up?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a shrimp of the woods.
Okay, writing that one down.
Nah, like you put that on a bed of rice with a little bit of lime, and it's like, what is this? Like, it's like when someone tell you, like, what's a cat fry? Like, oh, let me tell you what that is.
I got the bright idea to try and cook a beef heart as a steak one time. That didn't work out well. Way too like sinewy. Worked out much better grinding the heart up into burger meat.
Heart, I like stuffed and roasted. I like that. It's like slow roasted on low temperature. And I like it kind of almost as a garnish to other meat. Like I'm going to put a slice of that with the stuffing on top of my steak or something like that.
The teeny tiny little crane hearts were like perfect just to like saute them in butter and just go pop them and eat them. Those are perfect size for that. Making sure they were cleaned out. I still don't know if the issue was getting that beaver heart clean enough or if they just have shitty hearts, but it was nasty. As Dave would say, it was nasty.
I love Vince's. The most anti-vegan thing is you garnish your meat with meat. That is fantastic.
Oh, you know what bread bowls are for soup?
Mm-hmm.
But instead of a bread bowl, you just have a meat plate. So you put your steak on a bigger steak, and that's your plate. And then when you're done when you're done eating your steak, you then eat your plate.
I'm gonna take a deer heart and I'm gonna stuff it with squirrel quarters, and I'm going to take that and I'm gonna roast it. I'm gonna put it on an elk steak, and it's gonna be like, I don't know, like a redneck turducken.
Yes.
It's the turducken.
Fantastic.
Or the der squawking. I don't know.
Everybody wraps shit in bacon. Bacon is a meat. Bacon is like the meat condiment. Chicken is a vegetable.
Look, bacon is meat candy.
Yes.
That's what bacon is. And that's okay. I like that.
How would you make a turducken of the sea? Would you just stuff various fish inside of other fish? I guess so.
Ideally, you have them eat the other fish in the correct order, and then you just cook it all at once.
At the very center, there's usually be a little shrimp.
The shrimp of destiny, just like the little one in there.
A little popcorn shrimp. Just right on the inside. Boop.
Yeah.
With that, I cooked up
heart.
I actually fried up all of the liver and heart from all of those chickens at the same time because I had enough to make like, a little garnish for the meal. And that was actually the best part of the meal was that fresh chicken liver fried. Fresh fried chicken liver it's good. But it gets really bad if it's sat there for too long after you cook it. Like it becomes very bad.
You can have it.
Have you not had fried chicken liver?
I've had liver. I've had fried chicken liver.
Like
I
fresh,
don't hate
right out of the fryer.
Yeah, but I don't care. It all tastes the same to me.
No, it's
like
better.
liver.
It's
No,
different.
liver tastes like liver to me. I don't hate liver. Like Mike, I think just hates liver to no end.
It's two different foods.
Our buddy Sean hates liver to no end. I don't dislike liver. It's fine. It's not my favorite, but I'm also not going to go out of my way to eat it. Like there's other things I'd rather eat than liver all day long. So when it comes to
liver, I don't think I prepared it right, but I tried it.
Well, I'm a bad friend because I didn't save any crane livers for Dave this past.
Yeah, I even waved at you when you drove through town.
I was like, not stopping. If I stopped in town, I would still be there right now, probably.
Sam,
there went all the crane livers and.
Well, it doesn't help. My God. Doesn't help. My brother took like freaking crane livers home for 10 people.
He could have taken livers home for 9 people. You give some to Plow Guy Dave.
He tends to be like a little Smeagol-ish on these kind of things.
How much crane liver did you have?
Nobody but Nick, my brother Nick, and then a couple other people wanted any freaking livers and stuff. So that's like they were just piling on the damn liver. So it doesn't go to waste.
I'm betting it's probably about like chicken.
Actually, I think there were 4 people out of that group of 12.
Okay,
here's. Oh yeah, well, I've got a bunch of goose hearts I need to get rid of. Not get rid of, but like utilize in something. I still need to utilize a bunch of that goose because the problem. Well, maybe the problem is every time I'm like, "Ooh, we should cook this," I either end up like sick, so I don't like. We've been either every weekend for like the past 2 months. We've either been like sick. So I'm not in the mood to spend time cooking something. It's just gonna be quick and dirty to get the kids fed and everybody fed because I'm sick. I don't feel like cooking right now. Or the weather's been turning to shit. So it's like, fuck.
Oh, do you ever have that thing happen where you eat something but then get sick right after that has nothing to do with the food, but you don't want that food ever again?
No. I can tell you what does happen. Is my dad made some pork and beef sausage, like homemade sausage here not long ago. It is fucking delicious, but it's also causes me to have to run to the fucking bathroom 2 hours later.
Aw.
Go, Dave.
So, Vince, I think when you said that crane liver was like chicken liver, crane liver is the best liver I have ever had. And I'm a liver fiend. Liver aficionado, you could say. And, well, the way that I did the liver anyway. Slathered it in oil, salt, pepper, little garlic powder, and then I threw it on like a fucking hot grill. Just barbecue grill. Son of a bitch. That blows chicken livers out of the water.
Do you reckon we make Mike's liver taste good doing that?
It's pre-marinated.
I'm saying he's marinated his liver in a lot of Basil Hayden's and a lot of. I don't even know what kind of berry drink. Right? Oh well, no, shit. We got to get to him fast though, because he's gonna ruin his liver with those fucking spiked Mountain Dews.
Oh yeah,
so you need to get in there and get the liver out before he, it tastes like alcoholic Mountain Dew garbage.
That's where the meat grinder comes in.
I haven't had all the kinds of liver out there, but I imagine crane would be good. I like chicken because you don't have to like shave it to get the sheathing off the outside. That's the mistake I made with the deer liver. Like I needed to get all of that off the outside. And I was like, I'm going to lose a lot of this just by getting that off of there. And the consistency was terrible because I didn't get all of the sheathing off the outside of the liver.
But how do you normally cook your liver?
Deep fry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I pan sear mine. A little flour.
You can pan sear it.
We're lucky you even cook your liver. Just like.
Yeah, there's some times where I'm like, I know how that tastes cooked.
You marinate it in a little salt and a little garlic, and then you make up your batter mix and your flour and you toss it in the flour and then batter mix and then back to the flour and into the oil, and there you go. Cook it for about 4 minutes and you're done with it, and I like it. That's how we used to make it at the chicken place where I did the cooking, and I still like it.
I can see that. Liver is,
but you're also deep frying something. It's not difficult.
Yeah, liver is a big breakfast meat in my house. Like liver and biscuits and gravy. Oh man, I'm broken. I will fully admit that I am broken. But
how do you cook this?
Deer, beef,
liver,
doesn't matter.
I'm starting to think
not bird.
Okay, but a gravy, so like a sausage gravy, but made with liver instead?
So I will, it won't be like chunks of sausage in there. I'll cook my liver first, save the drippings, and then make my country gravy out of that. So you still have like all the flakes and chunks that come off your breading in there. But then I will have liver on the side and pour my gravy over my biscuits, and then I will eat them all together with a couple eggs on top. And if I'm feeling froggy, a little hot sauce or a little grape jelly on top.
Okay, that sounds good.
Man.
I would dig into that. I'm digging it. Yep.
Oh, even my daughter's like, yep, this
I'm
is
hungry.
Good. Oh, yeah. I love liver.
You worry me sometimes.
I know.
You're far too enthusiastic about that organ. Well. Did we just find a natural pause?
I think so. We don't want to go too overboard.
You mean we don't want to crank out a 2 hour and 50-minute episode?
Oh, no. I am all for that. I'm just saying I don't want to have to make our 2 hour and 50-minute episode into 2. Like, oh, man.
Hey, that time flew.
Yeah. Well, support the sport and take a buddy hunting. Get some trauma training. If you enjoy us, share us with your friends and family. Follow us on Instagram at Let's Go Hunt Podcast and Reddit at r/Let's Go Hunt Podcast. Check the show notes for info on Initiative 91, the ban on cat hunting. It read as the battle on cat hunting in my mind. But thanks for listening, and let's go hunt.
Why can't we talk today?
I can't talk any day.
So I can't talk any day. I just have a make up for me. I think drone pilot pie.
Drone pilot pie. I like it.
Whatever.
I ended on whatever.
Perfect.
End stream. We had